Well, we've enjoyed our time here in Laredo, where they got some boxing history, the Canizales brothers. And first up, one of those fights that hardcore boxing fans dream up on internet message boards. Pure pressure of the unbeaten Ruslan Provodnikov against the offbeat stylings of the wildly unpredictable Emanuel Augustus. And there is Emanuel, now 35 years old, well-traveled road warrior. He actually calls nearby Brownsville, Texas home. 5'6", 143 3/4. The most deceiving record the sport has ever known. 38, 31, and 6. The bioblast on Emanuel Augustus. And where do we begin? He's fought everyone, everywhere. In doing so, he was voted by the fans as the Friday Night Fight most memorable fighter. He was honored in 2001 for taking part in the Ring Magazine Fight of the Year, his all-time classic against Mickey Ward. He took this fight on short notice. He was quick to point that out when we met with him yesterday. Where's he been in recent years? Well, 5 of his last 6 fights have been spread out between Russia and Australia. Here's how Emanuel sees this fight.
I'm gonna give it my best. I'm gonna give it my all. I'm fighting to win. You know what I mean? And I love my fans, man. And I love all this love and support that I've gotten from them. And I'm definitely not going out there to disrespect myself or them. I'm going out. And I'm going to show that I still have heart and I still have ability. I still have skill. I'm 35 years old, but doesn't mean I'm old yet.
Here's the challenge for him. Ruslan Provodnikov, very intense guy. Packs a lot of punch in that 5'6", 141-pound frame. 14-0, 9 knockouts. Let's introduce you to Provodnikov via the bioblast. He's from one of the most remote outposts in Siberia. In fact, this spring, the winter melt creates an unmanageable island there. Only small planes can get you free from that town. He's a smart, engaging young man. We really enjoyed spending time with him this week. He's a college grad, has a degree in physical culture and sports. And in training, he goes from one extreme to the other. He works hard with a few fighters up in the gym in Russia. Then he makes his way to LA and finishes up the last 3 weeks at a jam-packed, high-pressure wildcard gym in LA. His last fight was on Friday Night Fights back in February. He was taken on former lightweight champion Javier Harrigan, and he gave him an absolute beatdown, scoring an 8th round TKO.
This fight meant a lot for me because it was a big fight, it was a serious opponent, and me winning it as well as I did proved to myself and my fans that I can hopefully to get to the level that I want to get to and fight for a world title in the near future.
That is the unbeaten Ruslan Provodnikov. Time to see how the fighters will keep their edge. Brought to you by Just for Men Mustache and Beard. Keep your edge, Teddy.
Well, let's go with the younger fighter first. Provodnikov. And Augustus took this fight on 4 days' notice. Just go wear him down to the body. And for Augustus, well, stay away. Use the ring. Tie him up. Went inside.
Let's go. Let's do it. Hey, guys, you see the pre-fight instruction. Protect yourself and obey my commands. Give me a clean fight. Let's go. Let's do it.
Rafael Ramos will be with them for the scheduled 10 rounds. The Tecate, Cerveza con Carácter, ring experience. Well, you could size anybody up against Emanuel Augustus, and they're going to be dominated in this category. Total rounds, Augustus in his career, 590.
Well, that brings to mind the question, how much does he have left? A lot of miles, as you just stated, on the odometer of Augustus. How much tread is left on those tires? This is the kind of fight that can worry me with a warhorse like Augustus at 35 years of age, taking a fight on 4 days' notice. Hasn't fought for 9 months and came in a little heavy. Provodnikov's people did not make him lose the 1 3/4 that he came in over, because I think they realized that he probably had to lose a lot more weight than that just to get down to take this fight.
That's right.
So this is the kind of fight with a guy like Augustus I worry about. That a guy like him, having such a tough career, could get hurt in a fight like this. We'll see what happens. He's going to use his experience early on. And if he can't do early, well, then he has no shot at all, because you would have to think that the younger Provodnikov is going to own the late part of this fight. He's going to come on like a freight train.
Well, both men have landed headshots early on here in round number one. Augustus landing a left hand to the body. Nice double jab by Emanuel at the end of that combination as well. Provodnikov with a left to the body. You can see instantly how heavy-handed Provodnikov is.
If Augustus is going to do well, it's going to have to be early, because I think he's going to have nightmares late with the young fighter coming and coming.
He's already getting hit early. He's also scoring well with his jab against Provodnikov.
Well, Provodnikov's not hard to find. Not that he gets insulted if you miss him, but, you know, he's very TV friendly, and I think part of that, Joe, is because of his technical flaws. Because you can hit him, it makes for good theater.
It's another short right hand by Provodnikov.
I don't want to see the punches just to the head if I'm a backer of Provodnikov. I want to see the body work with Provodnikov, the younger guy, taking those old legs away from Augustus. You know, I mentioned 9 months since Augustus last was in the ring. Joe, what's incredible about him is in a career that Augustus has had almost 16 years long, he's had no gaps of inactivity except for that one and before his last fight also 9 months. Other than that, no gaps of inactivity up until now.
Provodnikov has found success with an overhand right so far in this first round, but in typical form for Emanuel Augustus, he has been a very busy fighter as well.
Augustus should look for the uppercut when Provodnikov dips in a little bit, leans forward, trying to close that gap.
There's another big right hand from the unbeaten Russian as they fight to the bell here in our opener on Friday Night Fights.
Watch Augustus here. You know, you get older, you try to pull away from punches with your left hand down, and guess what? You don't get the success that you got a few years ago. That right hand of Provodnikov finding the mark.
Well, Emanuel Augustus used to be able to break all the rules in the game. Let's take a look at the CompuBox statistics from round number one. Provodnikov landing 29 to 22 connects for Augustus.
Well, Provodnikov has quite a bit of amateur experience, 150 bouts. And when you have that many amateur fights, you know what? You try little things in the gym. That means you've been in the gym a long time. You learn how to turn southpaw every once in a while. And Provodnikov showed that a moment ago. Again, if I'm Provodnikov, I'm going to the old body of Augustus. Try to make him an even easier target.
There's a right hand to the body. Augustus got caught with a short left as well as he tried to fight his way off that position with his back against the ropes.
I think what we want to look for early on is, does Augustus, at 35 years of age, coming off 9 months inactivity, taking his fight on 4 days, does he fight to exist or does he fight to win?
Heard what he had to say pre-fight. That was definitely top of mind for him. He's very upset with how the business of boxing has treated him through the years. He said, I've done everything. I'm 35 years old, and this is the only way I can get fights. He took this fight just 3 days prior to the weigh-in.
Well, he's used to taking fights, as you just said, Joe, on short notice. One of the reasons why he has 31 losses.
Low blow there, the warning from Rafael Ramos.
Every once in a while, Provodnikov will just stop, disconnect offense, and just cover up, concentrate on defense. When he does that, Augustus, he has to take advantage. There's an opportunity to score when Provodnikov does what you just saw him do. Just go defensive.
Right hand from Augustus. Doubles up that jab and able to get out the side door.
Augustus is looking to use those legs, give angles. He knows what he has to do. Not stand in front of the younger, stronger fighter. I think the question is, can his legs keep up with his mind? Can he keep moving all night long?
So used to seeing in the past that Emanuel Augustus that had what seemed to be never-ending resource of energy as he would clown and dance and do the unexpected time and time again. Coming to the end of round number 2.
Step 2, 3, 2. Yes. Okay. You're a lot faster than this guy, man. You've been into the punch. That jab, keep working that jab. Double your jab, all right? Into the body shot. Yeah, head body.
One of the all-time favorite fighters on Friday Night Fights. Now at 35 years old, Emanuel Augustus. Tonight, this marks his 17th appearance on ESPN. Mickey Ward and Terrence Ali lead the group, appearing 24 times, and he's fought absolutely everybody there is to fight. Back in October of 2000, he took on Floyd Mayweather. Floyd has said many, many times that Emanuel Augustus is among the toughest fighters he's ever had to be in the ring with.
Well, out of that list that you saw, and that impressive list, there are 7 either former or current world champions that Augustus has fought. And in all fairness, he's fought all those guys, all the best. He's never been able really to get above the B level in opposition as far as beating fighters above that level.
Good work by Augustus here in the opening minute of round number 2, doubling up that left hand and landing the uppercut against Provodnikov.
I guess the question is, if he hasn't been able to win at the next level, I guess the question comes to mind, is Provodnikov that next level?
Good left hand again from Augustus.
A little bit of a low blow there by Provodnikov. He got away with one there. The referee was out of position, but if Augustus was going to have a good night, he was going to have to do early work, as we said right from the top, and he's doing some of that early work. He's going to have to slow down Provodnikov, get his respect a little bit, and probably get a lead where he can survive as the younger fighter might roar down the stretch.
Provodnikov gets off a 3-punch combination. Augustus tries to go back to work with that left hand. He found a right hand coming back at him over the top with a right hand of his own from Augustus.
Provodnikov's hurting himself a little bit. You see big shots once in a while, big right hands, but one single shot, not combinations, and I don't think you've seen enough body work from Provodnikov.
Would you put down as a key to this fight to challenge the 35-year-old coming off a layoff who's taking a fight on short notice? Why not test him there?
Yeah, hurt him where he can be hurt. Augustus took the fight on short notice, probably didn't have time to do sit-ups, probably not in the best of shape. We know he came in a little heavy. Go downstairs. You don't go downstairs, you're doing him a favor.
Right hand from Provodnikov as Augustus continues to try to swarm and attack. Start to see some swelling now around the eyes of Emanuel Augustus. Good exchange there right in the center of the ring. Augustus and Provodnikov turning up the heat of it as we come to the end of round number 3, scheduled for 10 on our opener of Friday Night Fights.
You see 2 things here. One, you see Augustus doing well, getting some work done, putting punches together, and handcuffing Provodnikov. Also, you see Augustus fighting Provodnikov's fight, staying in front and getting away with it. Will he continue to get away with it? That's the question.
Emanuel Augustus hasn't fought since being TKO'd in August last summer in Australia. So the layoff, and we wondered how would he come out. Well, in that 3rd round, look at the CompuBox statistics, throwing 123 punches.
You know what that really speaks to? Do you like, if you're a judge and you get paid for that work, do you like a guy who's thrown a lot, or do you look at the guy who you think landed the more impactful punches? That can be a very controversial round, and we get plenty of them in this sport. I actually gave that round to Provodnikov because at the end, he landed the most telling punch, the jarring right hand. But I would concede to those who say, hey, Burton was busier.
Well, The #1 criteria for scoring a round of boxing includes the word effective, clean and effective punching.
And that's why, again, I would give that last round to Provodnikov. He got outworked, but he put a little more hurt on Augustus than Augustus put on him.
As is the case moments ago, backing him up with the right hand.
Again, you see those wheels of Augustus at 35 years of age. They're working pretty well. And part of it, he can thank his mechanic. Well, actually, not his mechanic, but he can thank Provodnikov for not taking any tread off those wheels, not going downstairs. I just saw Provodnikov turn southpaw again a moment ago, and here he goes southpaw, now he goes back to orthodox. That tells me that the 26-year-old is a little frustrated.
Wouldn't be the first time an opponent has been frustrated by Emanuel Augustus. He's supremely athletic. He's shown great athleticism throughout his career, but more so than that, highly unconventional, highly entertaining, and nonstop.
Yeah, he has that herky-jerky style, very unorthodox, and a style that right now, along with experience, is giving Provodnikov trouble.
Here's another warning from Rafael Ramos. And yet, having said that, Teddy, this is probably one of the most conventional outings we've seen so far from Emanuel Augustus in his career.
Yeah, that's true. He's on good behavior. I haven't seen the drunken master yet. I think that's what he calls one of his dance steps.
Right hand from Provodnikov. More to come from Laredo. Stay with us.
Let's go. Back to the corner. Back to the corner.
Ruslan Provodnikov, 14-0 with 9 knockouts. Taking on Emanuel Augustus. Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas with you ringside here at the Laredo Energy Arena. Let's look at Teddy's scorecard through 4 rounds, 38-38. CompuBox statistics offer up the total punches. Augustus has always had a high work rate, but only landing 24% of the 385 thrown through 4 rounds.
One thing that can hurt Augustus, again, taking the fight on quick notice, but he has to work a little harder to get things done. He has to, and you just saw the proof of it with the man. The amount of punches greater on the side of Augustus. He has to do more to get things done than Provodnikov. Provodnikov stalks you a little bit and places his punches, doesn't look to waste much, and that conserves energy.
The right hand from Provodnikov. Augustus tries to return fire and then starts a moment of showboating before getting back to normal mode. Sharp left from Augustus. Back to the jab now.
And I said it earlier, Provodnikov gives you opportunities to simply get off. He covers up, he goes defensive for moments like he did just there. Lets you get off. And also when he presses, yes, he's always coming, but he's coming slow in a predictable, plodding manner. You can pick him off coming in. And he doesn't come in behind the jab quite enough, Provodnikov. So when you don't come in behind the jab, and of course he makes me a liar.
But he didn't throw the right hand, he ran right out once he got to the inside. So there's another one on the checklist.
Yep, but when you don't jab on the way in, you allow the opponent on the outside to do work. And Augustus is looking to do work.
Oh, and a right hand puts Augustus down.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
This is what Provodnikov can offer up. Pure power. 30 seconds to go. He's getting after Emanuel Augustus. Head hunting for him.
This is where he would be served to go to the body, Provodnikov.
And Augustus landed a right hand that put Provodnikov off balance. A sharp right hand comes in again. Provodnikov
The key for Provodnikov is to go to the body and also put a hook with that right hand. He's found the home for the right. He needs to finish with the hook.
Right hand to the top of the temple. Augustus trying to survive.
Yeah, don't get lazy. I told you. Sit down, sit down. Yeah, sit down, sit down.
Quarter of Emanuel Augustus.
Come on, gotta snap out. Get down, snap out. Come on. Gotta move alive. Come on. Let's bucket a bucket.
How you doing? I'm doing great.
You're doing okay? Come on,
Doing wonderful. Where's the bucket?
Right there, down there.
Says he's doing great after being dropped.
Well, he wasn't doing so wonderful, to quote him, when that right hand came crashing home. Let's take a look.
Keep moving.
You see the good setup from this punch, a nice setup. The left hook underneath sets up the right hand up top. Very rarely does a punch get in by accident. That punch landed because of the setup by Provodnikov. Left hook underneath, right hand up top.
You never know what you're going to get from Emanuel Augustus. Let's see how he approaches round number 6 after being nailed in that 5th from Provodnikov.
If I'm in the corner of Provodnikov, I'm saying 2 things. One, when you press behind the jab, go to the body and go back to that left hook to the body, right hand up top. It worked. See if it works again.
CompuBox had Ruslan Provodnikov throwing 34 punches in the final minute of round number 5, including among them the biggest shot of the night so far, that right hand, a piercing right hand.
Augustus has been knocked out 4 times, and he's been on the floor many times in his career. He's gotten off the floor many times in his career, so no stranger to this kind of moment.
If it's happened in the ring, he's experienced it.
Exactly. You know, we showed a replay early in the night where Augustus got hit with the right hand. We said, you know, he pulls back sometimes, tries to anticipate it with his left low. Maybe he could have got away with that a couple years ago, but now at 35, the reflex is a little slower.
He just absorbed another big right hand, tried to roll with it, and then came back with a right of his own. Blood is coming from Augustus' nose.
Well, we know that Provodnikov can land the right hand. Can he put the left hook with it and maybe go home?
Every so often when there's separation and Augustus feels like he's in safe range, he's putting his glove up to his nose and trying to clear that air passage.
Bad thing to do, because when the septum in the nose gets damaged, when you go to blow it, sometimes air will get stuck in there, will go up, and it will cause your eyes to shut. They teach you that in boxing. All the old timers would tell the young fighters, you have a bruised nose, you have a damaged nose, do not blow it.
Let it be.
At least don't blow it unless you want your eyes to close.
Little pop right hand from Augustus. Looks better on his feet here. Final minute of round 6. Final minute of round 5 is when he was on his back.
Right now, what's most noticeable to me is Provodnikov's allowing Augustus to survive, to recuperate a little bit, get a pit stop. Again, if I was in the corner of Provodnikov, I said, hey, you're the youngin' here. Keep the pressure on him, keep wearing him down. And Provodnikov, this round at least, allowing Augustus a little reprieve.
And Augustus able to withstand another thudding right hand from Provodnikov. Good, entertaining opening bout here on Friday Night Fights from Laredo. Stay with us. Terry could do that too, and he will be part of Teddy's fight plan. We look forward to that a little later on.
One of the real tough guys in the business, 2,000 penalty minutes. That tells you he wasn't a pacifist.
Later in his career, he was a Mario Lemieux enforcer back for the Pens.
You know, something I heard interesting in the corner, I was eavesdropping in the corner of Augustus, and I heard his trainer, Robert Campos, tell him the idea was right, but the way he got it across was wrong. He told him, you got to start moving away from his right hand. He's hurting you with that. So start moving to your left side.
That would be into the right hand.
That would be into the right hand, Joe, exactly. Really what he meant to tell him, I'm sure, is you want to move to your right side, away from the right hand. The punch that continues to find Augustus.
He was squared up there for a moment when Provodnikov landed that short right hand. Provodnikov undefeated, 14-0 with 9 knockouts. This is 15th pro fight. Meanwhile, Augustus has fought 18 times in his career alone, just on ESPN.
You know, early in his night, it looked like Augustus was winning some battles, but I thought maybe at the expense at losing the war, because he was staying in the area that Provodnikov would be favored, on the inside, standing in front of the younger, stronger fighter. So he was winning battles there, but at the end, it was the wrong place, and I still think the wrong place for him to be with Provodnikov. You don't want to stand right in front of him, even if you have good moments, because Provodnikov at the end of the day is going to shine there more than you are.
We saw him open up eyes a year ago March on Friday Night Fights with his heavy-handed display. And then coming off a February TKO win over a former titleist, Javier Jauregui, that was impressive as well. And now here tonight, he's put down Emanuel Augustus in the 5th round with a big right hand.
One of the reasons why, if you're Augustus and his corner, you don't want to stand in front of Provodnikov, you're the smaller man. Half of the career of Augustus was spent at lightweight, while Provodnikov has been between junior welter and welterweight his whole career. And here's a good example. Augustus doing okay in front, but at the end of the night, I think he'll get burnt there.
Provodnikov just sturdier and more capable on the inside as blood continues to stream from the nose of Emanuel Augustus. 3 rounds to go. Stay with us.
Wasn't paying attention.
Motherfucker broke my nose or something.
You think so? I think the guy's got the right-handed.
Okay.
That's it. That's it.
Second sound, let's go. Let's go, Connor.
Well, he's giving us so many thrillers through the years. Ring Magazine Fight of the Year 9 years ago. For the decade, voted the most memorable fighter on Friday Night Fights. But now a 35-year-old version of Emanuel Augustus, who's been down on the canvas tonight in the 5th round. And after that last round, round number 7, he went back to his corner and he told his cornerman, he said, I feel tired, I feel sore. And he mentioned as he was walking back that he thinks he may have broken his nose. CompuBox numbers from the last round. Augustus keeping up that work rate, but once again a lower percentage landed.
You know, I talked about it early in the fight that the late rounds would be the danger rounds for Augustus, the older fighter, with the young fighter coming on strong down the stretch. Every once in a while, Augustus will lean forward with a jab to the body. That's an alleyway for Provodnikov to time him with a right hand. Right hands for Provodnikov since early on have found the mark.
The right hand that scored the knockdown in the 5th round.
But what he hasn't done yet, Provodnikov, is match the left hook with it. And you would think that's part of the advice he'd be getting in his corner. I know that's what I would be saying for what it's worth. You're hitting him with right hands, put the hook with it. Instead of 1 good shot, hit him 2 good shots. Right now, Augustus is trying to survive by using his legs, keeping the stronger guy off balance. And every once in a while, the way that Augustus is trying to win is to time Provodnikov with 1 shot when he comes in. See, he's surviving by using his legs and staying outside. But where he's trying to win, you'll see it coming probably. In spots, he'll look for 1 big shot to see if he can nail the Russian fighter coming forward.
Good jab from Provodnikov.
two separate ideas in the mind and game plan of Augustus. Survive a little bit and then look for a spot, maybe, to move forward.
Bring it up, okay? You okay? Come on, come on.
A warning with that left hand, but I don't think that really strayed all that low.
I'll tell you something else, and again, it's always conjecture when I'm not in the person's body, but I don't think you would have saw that reaction from Augustus a couple years ago.
No, you would have saw him sprinting across the ring.
At 35 years of age and taking this fight on 4 days' notice, he's looking to buy whatever time he can and whatever sympathy he can from the ref.
Come on.
Let's take a look at the supposed low blow. You see it right there. And I'm going to guess that that did not hurt him. That was not low. You could see that that was right on sort of the hip area on the cup. It was not low. It was not in the groin area. And again, I'm not in his body, but I'm going to guess that that did not really impact him the way that he reacted.
Oh, good headshots, 2 in a row from Provodnikov. You saw him snap back that neck of Emanuel Augustus. Teddy's scorecard through 8 rounds. Provodnikov, 77-74. 10-8, 5th round.
Again, that low blow that or that supposed low blow was right on the belt line, not really below it. What that message is sending to me and should be sending to Provodnikov, Joe, when you see a fighter at this age react, you know, so badly to a punch that's really not low or not that low, it means that you can get to him. Maybe he's starting to break down a little bit, and that would be a signal to me, attack that body.
That was an impactful right hand moments ago from Provodnikov. Just flush against the side of the head of Augustus. He does not look good at all right now. Pinned in that corner, taking headshot after headshot, and he goes down in a real strange way. His body just wobbled down to that knee.
See, that's why I said early in this fight, these are the kind of fights with a guy like Augustus. I get worried that a guy like Augustus is a candidate to get hurt in these kind of fights.
This fight is over. Ruslan Provodnikov scoring 3 knockdowns and a TKO victory, and that may be the end of Emanuel Augustus's TV career, if not his career, as the young upstart Provodnikov earns the 10th knockout of his emerging career. Out with the old, in with the new.
No. All right. I'm all right.
All right, but you got to listen to us.
I'm listening, but you ain't saying I'm going to sit down.
It happens to them all at some point. Tonight we saw it happen to Emanuel Augustus.
Doesn't happen to them all, but you're right, Joe. It happens to the ones that stay.
Yeah, who put themselves in this position
a little too long.
That's right. So the unbeaten Russian from the small town in Siberia has had himself quite a run since coming on to Friday Night Fights last spring. Well, let's go back and watch that first knockdown that he scored in the round.
Just a younger fighter staying on top. Not a lot of clean punches, quite honestly, there, but bad reaction from the punches. There's the left uppercut, looked like the only clean punch in that series. Those punches missing, the right hand getting in. So out of 6 punches there, 1 gets in, and bad reaction from Augustus. And here's the end of the fight. Body shot, right hand gets in, left hook gets in partially, and that's it. Another look. Combinations. Early on, you were seeing the big shots, the right hands we were talking about from Provodnikov. He found a home for him, but Here at the end, you were seeing the combinations that put an end to the night.
Let's send it up to the ring to Mike Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 1 minute 50 seconds into round number 9. Referee Rafael Ramos steps in, waving a halt to the bout. The winner by TKO victory, Ruslan Provodnikov.
Ruslan Provodnikov. Now 15-0 with 10 knockouts.